Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to CHAGA A CHAT.
Welcome once again to CHAGA A CHAT.
We are
Kasia
and Dan.
Thank you very much.
And we're so excited. We really are really excited today. This is going to be a really wonderful show. We have so many really great things to share with you.
Awesome things to share. Awesome things to share.
But the first thing is, we'd like to introduce you to our special guest.
Oh, yes.
Our friend,
Kourtney Belisle of Vitality from Within.
Vitality from Within.
There we go. Kourtney Belisle from Vitality from Within. Sorry, Kourtney.
Hi, Kourtney. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, it's been such a pleasure meeting you, Kourtney, and getting to know you. It's been a few short visits, but we both feel like we've known you for an awful long time. So that's good. And maybe you could just tell us a little bit about yourself tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I'll start off with introducing myself. So my name is Kourtney. My passion is in the realm of fitness and moving people. I started off working as a personal trainer 3 years ago, and I found a lot of joy in that, seeing people doing things that they otherwise never thought they could do. And being a part of their journey was very rewarding. And so that's where it started from there. And then as I immersed myself in the fitness industry, I started to feel like there was some gaps. I felt it even in my own personal experience. Suffered with my own mental health and physical pain, and so I wanted more for me, for my clients, for everyone around me. And so I began to immerse myself into a more holistic approach, and found myself on a really inspirational journey, and which led to the Within.
Awesome.
Wonderful. And which has brought us together to this wonderful collaboration.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely.
And we're actually really excited to be working with Kourtney, because Kourtney is offering her space to us in exchange for a workshop that we're going to be holding there in her space at Vitality from Within on Main Street this Thursday. And we're really excited about this workshop. And what we're really, really, really excited about is this new concept that we also want to launch that I know, Kourtney, I think you also feel is pretty close to your heart.
Yeah, so when you two approached me about this PotLuck Exchange idea, I think it's something that we all think about, but no one's ever putting it into action. And so when I seen the vision that you two were bringing, it resonated with me.
That's wonderful.
Awesome. Oh,
Danny, would you like to say something about it?
yes, I would. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
About the PotLuck Exchange.
Yeah.
Yes. PotLuck Exchange, an old terminology, but something that we feel is important to bring forward, and it's part of what we call an energy philanthropy. And what that basically means is the more everyone feels good and feels good about themselves, the more good we're going to feel collectively, all of us. So the idea behind this is, we never wanted what Kasia and I ever did. Like, we understand our work is important and helping people to release themselves from this stress and anxiety. We understand what it does to the body and what it's going to do to us. And we know that as long as we can keep people and keep helping them and keep this momentum going and build more and more momentum where people are feeling better and better about themselves, and they're spreading the message on, and everybody starts feeling better, it raises the consciousness of everybody. So energy philanthropy is just basically this. We all have a wealth of energy to tap into within ourselves. We all have this goodness within ourselves that we get to share with everybody. It's really hard to do, though, whenever we look inside ourselves and we feel so much desperately wrong with us. And all Kasia and I ever say is, there was never anything wrong with you.
Right.
We all had things happen to us.
Right.
And if we can portray that message and teach you the techniques that we learned to help clear that in ourselves, then all of a sudden your life becomes richer. And as your life becomes richer, you start to enrich other people's lives.
That's right.
And that's the idea behind energy philanthropy.
So we want to take the idea of a PotLuck Exchange, and we actually want to take it forward and expand it into a new concept, something we can all really kind of hold on to, something that's tangible. So what we are suggesting and introducing is an idea where we take this old concept of everybody brings something, and we use it more directly in the exchange of services and goods, so we can all feel like we're supported and like we all have something valuable to offer, because we really do. Everyone has something valuable to offer to the collective table. Yeah. And we're excited to start working with people in this way. So Kourtney is actually one of the first people that has opened up to working with us in this way, where we are exchanging services, and it feels really nice, and it feels good to feel that back and flow. And what we're inviting everybody, so for whoever's going to be joining us on this Wednesday workshop, we're inviting them to come and bring what is of how help me out here, Danny, because it's brand new words we're searching for, and so
everybody has worth, and everybody has value, and everything has value. It all depends on what we put a value on, and I guess the biggest thing is whenever we always used to, if you ever went to a potluck dinner, everybody brought something.
Exactly.
Everybody brought something forward. From it didn't matter what it was, but everybody brought something to the table. So for this workshop, we had said the cost of the workshop is $44. Mm-hmm. Now that is a good number, because it helps us cover the materials and cover expenses and keep spreading this message. Yes. So that's why we do it.
Yes.
However,
everybody who's involved in putting these things together.
And yes, everybody's involved putting these things together. However, the very people, which is everyone, needs to be able to attend, and they need to be able to be part of these things. Not everybody finds the $44 as something that's affordable to them.
However, everybody has something to offer. Everybody has something, even from a skill that they can exchange for the amount of time, or something they've created. Now, we actually want to thank somebody on here.
Well,
two people. First, of course, Kourtney,
yeah.
for being one of the first people to jump into the idea and actually try this out with us. And the second person is Pierre Coutu, a good friend of ours who is going to be attending the workshop. And Pierre actually, in exchange for his attendance, gifted us a beautiful painting that he made. And it's right behind us. So you can see it right there. Mm-hmm. There. And it's a gorgeous scene. So we'll be posting a picture of it down below with a special thank you to Pierre. And we just want you to know, this is how it works. So if you want to bring food, absolutely bring food. Keep in mind, there's going to be lots of us there, so it's going to be to share.
Yes.
If you want to offer a service, then bring your business card, write down what kind of service you have, let us know a little bit. We're going to exchange services. We're going to see who does what. It'll be fun. We're going to open up the floor to everybody during the workshop. So we're actually going to have a chance to interact and actually kind of play with each other. If you do art, if you do crafts, please bring something that you do. Maybe you make soap and you'd like to bring a few samples of soap for people.
Definitely.
So just keep in mind,
everything has value.
Everything has value.
Definitely.
Or even if you'd like to stay behind and help with a cleanup or help to promote us, or it doesn't really matter. The list is endless.
Yeah. Because Kourtney's going to need help cleaning her studio.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So,
absolutely.
So we never want money to be the issue with somebody attending a workshop.
Right.
Listen, everybody, and I mean everybody, has stress and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
That is just it's a fact, and it's a truth of the culture that we live in. And it's not just our culture. It's not just Canadian culture. And it's not just North Bay culture. You know, it goes through North America and South America. This is worldwide. This is a culture right now that is having challenges within a money structure. Mm-hmm. And so we feel that it's more important to put the emphasis on the good we do and on the good we all feel. Because as you change, everything changes. And I love the old saying, you cannot take a dark candle into a light room, but you can take a candle in and light the darkness away. So we all have that opportunity. We all have that opportunity to wake up and feel good about everything that we're doing. And with that, then that changes everything, you see. You bless the people's lives. We pay things forward. We do all sorts of these things that we can do, doing good deeds to make people feel good. You know, we think all of this is of the highest importance because it's an energy philanthropy. It is the energy we want to change. It's the energy we want to raise up.
And most of all, of how you feel about yourself.
Definitely.
If your self-worth is lifted because of the course of whatever we do, then we've succeeded. And that's what it's really all about.
Definitely.
And we really want you guys to get excited about this as we are, because we see the potential of this, because we're not taking money out of the equation. We're just saying, let's open the doors. Let's open the doors and the windows to all the possibilities of how we can exchange goods and services. So in that respect, we would like to actually make an announcement about...
Already?
Is it too soon?
I think so.
I got excited.
I think so. We haven't let Kourtney talk very much.
Right. Okay. Well, that's just building the anticipation, because we are building to that exciting announcement that we want to make.
So the workshop is this Thursday night.
Yes.
It is in Kourtney's beautiful studio that she has downtown at 177 Main Street West in North Bay.
Yes.
And we had the opportunity to go in there and spend some time with Kourtney in there, and it's a beautiful location.
Yes.
It's nice, it's accessible. Everybody can get into there, and Kourtney's done a lovely job in there at making sure everything is just perfection.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, most definitely. So Kourtney, you'd mentioned before how you got into these things. What's the biggest thing you noticed about people carrying emotions in their body as you were working with them?
How it really came to light was pain. It seemed like no matter what kind of routine I put people through, and even if they lost weight or they built muscle, the commonality was that everybody was in pain. And it seemed like the root, the common solution in the fitness industry was, it's just because you're not using it. So you need to work out harder. You need to work out harder. You need to try harder. And I didn't buy that. Personally, I didn't buy it, because coming from a fitness background myself, I did it all. I worked hard, I trained hard, and I still had my own pain. So I knew firsthand that wasn't it. And so I started looking deeper within myself and realized that it was more of an internal problem rather than an external one. And the external was just the manifestation of what was going on within me. And I stumbled across this program, which enlightened me into the more holistic approach to training, which was barefoot fitness. So it wasn't like yoga, but it was more science-based, which I love. I am at the root of who I am. I'm a learner. I love learning. So when I got to actually get the science and understand how our body was so connected to our mind, and how our mind was so connected to our body, it was kind of like a whirlwind. I just had to collect more and more and more. And the more I learned, the more I realized that to ultimately, reach self-fulfillment with your body, you had to find that self-fulfillment within yourself first. You had to manage your stressors. You had to experience yourself from within before you could appreciate the experience outside of you. And that's really what was the pivotal moment for me. It was like everything else I had learned about fitness kind of fell away, and I started looking deeper with clients and trying to understand what day-to-day stresses they were experiencing, and creating that connection between them, that in order to move better, they had to manage the way they were feeling. They had to manage their emotions. We had one client in particular, when she would get angry during our workouts because she didn't want to do it, her back would hurt. And I would And the more I brought it up, she started connecting the dots, and it was like she started realizing her emotions were manifesting themselves into physical pain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really well said. You've really encapsulated the kind of philosophy we live by, and the kinds of things we see as well.
Most definitely.
So it's interesting. See, we've noticed that ultimately it never matters how you get there. We actually all get there, and that there is this common understanding of how things work that, at the very root, are actually quite simple, and yet so beautifully, wonderfully intricate. It's lovely to see, and so it makes sense how our paths have crossed, and how this connection feels so fluid, and I think that's what will be really exciting about as we connect more and more this way. We're going to find that more and more we're going to find like-minded people who also feel this way, and who have, through the path of their own particular details, have gotten to the very same kinds of realizations, and I believe that's what's going to ultimately create this community.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
I really like you said the word simple. I really love that, because it is so simple. It's almost like we've complicated it. We've made it feel like it needs to be all these steps and layers, and it's really so simple. It's just tapping into it, finding it within you.
Exactly. And we love the fact that you use the words tapping in, because that is exactly what we do. And one of the reasons we're so very excited about the actual practice of tapping, of TRT, is because it gives us the ability to take that inner awareness that you have, and now to take it to that next level of self-mastery. Because once you're aware of how your emotions, how your internal self is actually creating your external environment, you need something to begin to manage and maneuver and control your own experience internally. So, for example, let's talk about anger, because you brought it up with your client. So one of the things you were teaching your client through the practice of what you were, by showing her, oh, look, when you get angry, this is what happens, you were actually teaching her to self-modulate. Because in our culture, we are not actually taught to modulate our anger. We're actually taught that anger is an appropriate response to getting people to do what you want them to do. Because generally speaking, parents, in the process of wanting to get their children to do what they want them to do, will use anger as a tactic. You know, you better do what you want. I'm going to get angry. So there's all kinds of things we do. So we're taught at a very early age that anger is an appropriate way to get what you need and what you want. So this is a gentle unlearning. And this is where tapping becomes so wonderful, and why we're so excited to bring it to you in your studio, because we know the kind of benefit it's going to do.
Definitely. It helps to release us from all the tether to all these emotional events we've had in our life, where we remain tethered to it. And it seems like as much as we reach, we can never seem to break through this. So what we've designed, what we've developed here, is a technique by which to break free from that. So that event from the past no longer predicts your future for you, you see. And there is a simplicity in it, and there is a knowing in it. And once you know it, and once you practice it, and once you make this part of your everyday practice, then all of a sudden you start to notice that more positive starts coming into your life. More your energy levels rise up. The more your energy levels rise up, the more you influence the people around you. You want to change the world. We always said, change yourself from within. It's always got to start inside here first. You know, the war without we see is the war within that we still have. So as we release ourselves from all these old emotions and that, then what it helps is it helps propel everybody forward. Most definitely. And I think, Kasha, you and I found that too, because like I used to coach weight loss with people. It was the same thing.
It's true.
You could teach a person how to lose weight, like every diet worked, but until they released the emotional blocks of it, they could not keep it off, or they could not maintain that. And you found the same in your business. Yes,
actually, likewise. I was a Pilates instructor. I had a studio for about 7 years, and I was teaching people on the physical side. And I reached a point in my practice where I had people with repeat aches and pains and injuries that I could see were being caused by the emotional changes, like the emotional things they were doing, but they weren't making the connections. And so I realized that in order to help the people that I love so much, I would have to, so to speak, for me, come up off the mats and begin to address the emotional side. and that's actually what has led us to our work. So you see, it's so marvelous that in actuality, all paths lead to the same place.
And all three of us are having this experience too.
Absolutely.
We're finding there's only so far you can go with one thing before you have to start considering what a person is carrying emotionally in their body.
That's right.
And as they release that, then they release everything. We had a great discussion with Kourtney here just recently about Dr. Masaru Emoto.
Yes.
With the water, and you know, we were noting that 90% of the molecules in your body are water, and water can store memory. So we think that all these memories and that are here, but these things are stored within our bodies. And oftentimes when we feel pain, it's recurrent of an emotional event coming up. Clear the emotional event, the pain goes away.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Kourtney, when we went to your studio to check out how beautiful the space is, we had an opportunity to do a little bit of tapping. Would you like to share with us what that felt like for you?
It was, I was trying to explain this with someone, and I'm still almost lost for words, because it was just closing in the gap on things that I've been trying to let go of myself. Like you said, I really like how you use the analogy of like tethering. And there's things, you know, like, and I'm sure I'm not the only person who can attest to this, but there's things from years ago that you think you've moved past, but every once in a while it just pops in there, and you almost feel that gut-wrenching feeling. And we did one on a particular experience, and it felt so good to make peace with it. If that makes sense, that peaceful feeling, it was like I didn't have to hold that anymore. It was okay that I didn't feel upset that I had held it for so long. It just felt peaceful. And I yawned the whole way home, so I knew I had done something right.
Yeah.
Everybody has a tell.
Yeah. Well, when we tap with our friends, we notice that everybody has a unique way of showing the relief that's happening in the body, because the actual body is having an actual relaxation. The muscles, the tendons, the organs, the blood vessels, everything is just opening up. And we sort of in our love of the complicated. Because let's admit, when we look around the world, clearly we love things to be complicated, although we truly, truly yearn for simplicity and understanding. So at the very heart, these things are easy to understand. But I'm digressing.
What is easy to do is also easy not to do.
That's right. That's right.
I know. We laugh because even Kourtney was saying the simplicity. I love the word simplicity, but you know, there's the complexity to simplicity, isn't there? Yeah.
And there's so many wonderful things we want to talk about. So part of the thing here is just to limit ourselves to what we're trying to get across in just a half an hour to you.
Definitely.
But my goodness, that's why we're so excited about this workshop on Thursday with Kourtney, because we have so much to share with you guys. There's so much that we want to talk about to give you a better understanding of how your energy, what you're feeling on the inside is truly affecting the world on your outside, how to recognize it, how to truly stop yourself in real time, and to shift your emotional state. Because that's what we're doing. Ultimately, like we were saying before about the anger, it's about, can we recognize the emotion, the sensation of it, and can we flip ourselves into a new sensation, into a new feeling? Can I go from being really angry, or let's just say frustrated, because anger is really tough. Let's just say, can I go from being really frustrated to feeling peaceful about the same situation in real time, not in conversation or in theory, not when I'm already feeling good, but when I'm in it, when I'm in that moment, when I'm feeling the rise of tension in my body and my heart rate is going, can I in that moment switch my internal, more than dialogue, that whole feeling in there, so that I can actually feel differently? And that's true mastery over your internal state. That's what tapping actually helps you to do. And I think, well, see, I've become an unsuspecting champion for tapping, okay? It took me, I was probably the one who took me probably the longest to be fully, thoroughly convinced. But once I was, the same way as you are, that scientific part of me, once I figured out how and why it works, well, now I'm like this banner kid for tapping, because no matter what else you're doing, like Kourtney, in your practice, tapping will only improve your results. It'll only improve in your yoga. I have been using it with I'll just share a little story with you guys. I've been using it with a client now for the last he's been a client for about 11 years, and I think I've been tapping with him for the last 3, and for the last year in particular, he's really opened up, and he's actually we're tapping now on the physical components that we're still struggling with, like for example his flexibility. So we're actually tapping on loosening the muscles, and we find with each session he's able to move just a little bit more, and we're also seeing that as he's able to move his joints a little bit more, well, his mind is also expanding, and his ability to reach for bigger thoughts is expanding, and to be more open to changes is expanding.
And in the simplicity of all that too is this one thing too. You just change one thing and everything changes. Just change one thing, everything changes. Just untie yourself from the tether of one emotional block and everything changes. And we hear this all the time. We honestly
and in the moment,
all the time. Yeah.
Exactly, and it changes in the moment.
In the moment, yeah. And we've had people come back to us a year later and say, that thing you showed me has changed my whole life for me. And they're so grateful for it. And we think, wow, it really does have that profound of an effect. Yeah. So we're going to be teaching this tomorrow night. With Kourtney.
Absolutely. She's
at
going to be
Vitality
there.
From Within at
Absolutely.
177 Main Street West in North Bay at 7 p.m. on Thursday night. We're going to be there. Now
now for
our
big announcement.
Our big announcement. I should have had our big announcement. We've taken something, PotLuck Exchange, and we understand, and with the thoughts on energy philanthropy, and we have decided to put this across our website, across our whole practice now, so that nobody will ever need to ever turn away because of the cost of any program.
That's right.
So it is open to everybody, and we only ask an exchange.
Right.
A humble exchange is what we ask for.
Well, humble, we're going to do... I love him so much, and humble is such a wonderful trait, and I would never dissuade anybody from being humble, but let's actually raise the bar a little bit here. This is not about humbling ourselves. This is about understanding that everybody has something. We're not doing this because we feel like you guys need a handout and you can't rise to the challenge of meeting what needs to be met. We're just saying there's so many more opportunities to exchange goods and services. We know the value we bring. We know the amount of time we put into our programs. Definitely. We feel really, really confident with what we do because you guys are our results, and the people and these are programs we've been working on for years. So it's taken us years to develop. And you guys are people we love.
Definitely.
So the reason we're doing this is because we have this thought: if somebody doesn't do this and actually start practicing it here in real time and where we are, then we're never going to have the opportunity to experience it. So we're saying, why not us? Why not? So we want to take this and we really want to evolve this forward, invite you guys to join in. Our business from now on is more going to be like an open network. And we hope that with time, it'll help us to actually connect more people, more goodness, where we all feel supported. Definitely. We never want there to be a time anymore, and just where you guys or anybody feels alone.
Yes.
In a world where we're so connected, for us to feel alone, like we don't matter, like we don't have anything to offer, that has to go to the wayside. Yes. So we're all talking. I mean, lots of people are talking about.
Charlene, you matter.
Thank you so
Charlene.
much. Hi, Charlene. So good to see your friends here. Thank you for everybody who joins us. Danny's doing a fantastic job here of running the banners and talking. So I want to give him some credit here because he's been doing a phenomenal job. All the wonderful improvements you guys see, that's Danny. That's
Ta-da.
All him. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So technically, so he's doing beautiful work. So yes, so we're really excited, guys. This is our big announcement.
Most definitely.
Give Up Pain, which is us, if I
Definitely.
may, are now open to PotLuck Exchange, which means that for the value of our services, we're now open to the exchange of all kinds of goods
Yes.
and
Definitely.
offerings.
And it falls within some very simple laws of the way things done. It's the law of reciprocity. So as we give, everybody feels more worth as they give, and so that is the thing. Is we all feel more worth as we give. So,
Yes.
So we give to you of us, and you pass that along. You give of yourself to others, and we just keep doing this, and everybody's going to feel a lot higher value. And man, especially when we start chopping off all the emotional baggage we've been carrying and crap we've been holding on to, going, I'm not worthy. We just can't carry that stuff anymore.
And we're excited because we feel like now that we're now more available to you. There's nothing standing between us and you guys, and that's the most important thing to us. We just want to be available for you so that you don't feel so alone out there,
Yeah. So we thank everybody for being here. We want to just go back over to Kourtney one last time here. Kourtney, anything that you could add to this, please?
I'm just excited that get to be a part and watch. It's exciting to know that there are people who genuinely are just looking to help other people, because like you said, there is a big gap in people feeling unworthy and hopeless and everything in between. And I'm glad that I have the space to provide provide you to, so that you can do spread your love, and I'm just so excited.
Thank you,
Kourtney, so much. Because it's with this too, Kourtney. When you give out that good from you and what you're doing, so much good comes back to you.
Absolutely.
It is the law of reciprocity, you see. So as you do this, more comes back into you again. And I see what you're doing here, what you're doing with vitality from within, and wanting to collaborate with people that are improving communities and helping people's health.
And thank you.
And what you're doing there is extremely important. So the very good that you're doing in the community is going to help to build the community and help to build everybody around there too at the same time.
Most definitely.
Yeah, most definitely.
So just before we end here, Kourtney, we'd like to end by reading a page or a little section from Driver's Seat. Now, the way the book works is that we just pick a page and then we read wherever our lives land. So would you like to pick a page? And Danny, would you like to read?
Certainly. Amanda says, I love you guys.
Hi,
Thank
Amanda.
you, Amanda.
Thank you. We love you too. Thank you again to all of our friends who actually show up and join us. We truly believe that we meet all of you for a reason. So thank you for showing up. Thank you.
Definitely.
Would you like to pick a page now, Kourtney?
Let's pick 44.
From between. Oh, well chosen. Okay. Maybe from there? Actually, wherever you choose.
I was actually wanting to start here. Now, if that makes sense to you, that it means you are experiencing exactly what I am, in which case, congratulations, my friend. I'll be seeing you along the way. And if you were here, hearing these words, I can safely surmise that you are already doing it to some degree, but you probably don't recognize that you are, and it doesn't mean you understand what is happening. So let me offer you this. It's like I am aware of myself as an individual waking up in someone else's timeline, someone else's body, except the timeline I'm waking up to is my own timeline, and the body that I'm coming into is my body. Now here's the part that may be a little confusing for you, so just hear me out.
Because you better keep going.
Yeah, there is no separation between me and Source. I am that. I am Source expressing itself as a human being. And this expression of me, everything outside of me, is a vibrational expression, a manifestation of my inner vibration. My outer world reflects my inner world. Good pick, Kourtney.
Thank you.
Most
Wow,
definitely.
that was lovely. Again, thank you so much, Kourtney.
Thank you, Kourtney. We'll be seeing you Thursday night.
Absolutely. And to all of you,
Yeah.
and to all of you who are going to join us there, we look forward to seeing you. Kourtney, once again, thank you so much.
Yeah. Wear something comfortable.
Yes, wear something comfortable.
Bring a cushion to sit on, or
Yes,
something
please.
to sit on. Bring something to sit on.
Mm-hmm. And I believe we're going to have water there for everybody to drink.
Yes, we'll bring some spring water.
Yes. And we're going to have fun. This is going to be fun, guys. And we're
Definitely.
going to open things up. We're going to have fun. And we're going to get to know each other.
Very good. All right.
Thank you so much, Kourtney.
Good night,
Thank you,
all.
everyone.
Thank you, Kourtney. Good night,
Good night, everyone.
everybody.
Thank you for coming to CHAGA A CHAT.
Thank you. And